I mean, anytime those guys showed up, Jose or Goji, anytime they showed up in the lobbies, Phil dips. He's gone. He'll give Goji one match every now and then because he knows that's what people actually want to see.
Right.
You know, it's the matchup you always want. You know, unless if Evil AJ comes back and just stomps him.
I did it again.
I did it to myself.
New Jeru, get the fuck up. Shaolin, get the fuck up. Long Isle, get the fuck up. Worldwide, get the fuck up.
So allow me to explain. I had a fan by the name of Evil AJ. This guy apparently was a fan of my content, used to watch my videos, comment on them. And then at one point, he left a comment that got him banned from my comment section on DSP Gaming. What was the comment? I have no idea. I've heard rumors that it had something to do with my ex, or it might have had something to do with insulting. I have just no clue. But apparently this guy got banned from being able to comment on my videos. And he got so butthurt about it. It wasn't like, oh, darn, he's a jerk. He's like, I got to do something drastic. Drastic. So what did he do? He sat down and he watched the entirety of my Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough, which is hours and hours of content. Okay? He painstakingly pieced together the pieces that he felt that I was inept in the playthrough. Evil AJ took every clip of that and edited it into basically a 1 hour long montage. What he then did was he searched my video comments on these videos of my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 2 HD to find the most scathing ones. Whether it was just simply criticizing the fact that I suck at the game, maybe it was an outright insult, whatever it may be. And he superimposed what he felt the best comments were, exposing me for being a terrible gamer over the video. So this 1 hour montage of the worst moments of my playthrough with the comments superimposed became known as This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. I had nothing to do with that video getting taken down. I don't know how it got taken down. I don't know if someone lied about who they were. I was partnered with Machinima at the time. Maybe Machinima had something to do with it. I have absolutely no idea, but I did not do it.
May 1st, 2022 of this year, that's this year, he says this.
I actually don't know if I did or not. I can't remember. I honestly can't confirm or deny it. You know, 10 years ago, I was so angry about This Is How You Don't Play when the videos were first coming out. Maybe I did. With 2 viral videos on the internet, basically making fun of me and my gameplay style, Evil AJ was kind of well known in the circles of people who just didn't like me. What ended up happening was people were inspired, and people took the idea of This Is How You Don't Play and went ahead and made tons of their own style of videos for pretty much any game I would play. They got very, very popular, right? Very popular. And I'll give shout outs where credit is due, because what those people did, instead of just copying what Evil AJ did, they did better. I was pissed, and I totally reacted in the wrong way. Rather than kind of seeing that potentially this could be a new audience and riding with it, maybe even making my own This Is How You Don't Plays, or at least highlighting those so that maybe people understand I'm not mad about them, I had completely the opposite situation. I was pissed. I was angry. I insulted everyone who would watch those videos, saying that it was theft. I insulted everyone who liked the videos and made the videos. It was bad. It was probably the worst case scenario of how I could have possibly reacted, except if I had tried to take them all down, which I did not. Why am I telling you all this is the history of This Is How You Don't Play? Well, because Evil AJ, the originator of This Is How You Don't Play, after making his original 2 videos, did attempt from time to time to make other negative things about me. I don't specifically know if he ever made another formal This Is How You Don't Play, but he definitely did other things like highlighting me raging in fighting games and things like that. And they never really got much traction compared to his original videos. So, eventually, trying to stay relevant, desperate for relevance because this guy had no relevance outside of the This Is How You Don't Play videos, he tried to do other things over the years, like This Is How You Do Play, a really odd series where he attempted to play the same games that I had played, only claiming to play them better than me as an e-dick measuring size contest or something. Like, I really don't understand the point. And by the way, those series were not successful. Yes, he would maybe get a few tens thousands of views here or there. It never took off like the original This Is How You Don't Play videos and didn't get him any kind of notoriety or popularity like he wanted. Okay?
Bruh. This guy's a bitch.
So that being said, over the years, Evil AJ faded into obscurity. Or did he?
And I love this because I love how he's saying this. Like, the thing is, what makes this so fucking amazing is that if you take away all this bullshit and get to the nugget of truth, at the end of the day, this man, like, is depending on detractor content to make money to pay his bills. Like, at the end of the day, you can say all this shit. The whole point is that you're using a detractor's content to get money to pay your bills.
Even though you like to think that maybe he was gone for good and for good riddance, he actually never stopped hate watching me. As you can clearly see, whenever you follow his Twitter feed and you see him making multiple tweets every single day in response to the things that I say and do on my streams, I'm not kidding. It's been over a decade. And this guy, on a daily basis, posts up about me on his Twitter multiple times whenever I'm streaming. It's not an exaggeration. This guy never stopped following me. Even though no one talks about him, no one even addresses, who talks about the original This Is How You Don't Plays anymore. But this guy literally still he's watching this right now. Don't fool yourself. He's watching this shit right now. Okay? He also tried to interject himself into my content over the years, despite the fact that I couldn't give two shits. There's been various different versions of Street Fighter 2 that I've played online over the years, and he's tried to fight me and play me in multiple versions of them, again, in some odd e-dick measuring contest to say that he's a good Street Fighter player and can beat me, which is hilarious because, yes, he has beaten me, although I've beaten him way more than he ever did beat me. And the times that he usually does defeat me, he either uses Blanca or Balrog. He actually makes his internet connection shitty on purpose so that I can't react to the things he does, and he uses online abusable tactics. Dude, you had your moment in the sun 10 years ago with you can, for the rest of your life, okay? For the rest of your life, you can say, I am the creator of This Is How You Don't Play, which went on to become this storied series that basically destroyed Phil and his gameplay for a decade, right? Isn't that enough? Like, you understand, you're never, ever going to have that level of anything ever again. You're never going to have that level of notoriety. There's a time when you got to learn to move on. It's kind of hypocritical of me to say that because here I am 10 years later, also making content way less prominent than I used to be. But you know what? I've changed myself for the better. I've become a better person. I've moved on from a lot of the grudges and problems that I used to have and the way I used to behave in my old content. I make a totally different style of content now that's much more small scale, but still I feel as meaningful as what I used to do. And I have a fan base that supports that. You just sit there on Twitter hate watching me all day. You haven't grown or evolved. You're the same fucking nasty, angry dude, so upset that I banned you from comments over a decade ago and you won't let go. It's fucking sad.
You're the same fucking spaz from your fucking private school that nobody likes. Okay? The same guy. You never changed. You've been the same way. Like legitimately, you legitimately peaked in middle school. Okay? Several years later, you're still unlikable. You haven't got any friends. You don't have any level of success. People are taking the shit that you do, they make it better, and they become more successful than you in the process. You have no transferable skills. Your dick doesn't work. I know it doesn't fucking work. You drink too much gin. You eat too much fucking fried fast food. You don't get into any physical activity, so I know, like, you don't have sex with your wife, so I know your dick doesn't work. Okay? Your house smells like shit. There's trash everywhere. And every day, you spend your life on a social media website trying to gain your former glory in your past years. Legitimately, DSP. You trying to sit there and trying to bring someone down simply because they will not allow you to watch a video for you to make money off of it. It's fucking sad.
You won't let go. It's fucking sad. It really is. Okay? So why on earth am I even bringing up Evil AJ in 2022 when he has zero pertinence to anything? Okay? I'll tell you why. The guy who 10 years ago, okay, argued that everything he did was fair use, right? That anything that you do, oh, you're going to take content from someone else, edit it together, and you're going to comment on it. That's a transformative work. That's completely allowed. That's fair use, right? That's protected by fair use law. You can't come after me for it. It's commentary. It's criticism. It's allowed on the internet. So therefore, you can't do anything about it. You can't copyright claim me for it. You can't come after me legally. It's all allowed. I'm here 10 years later to observe it and basically acknowledge it. Oh no. Well, now Phil's going to, oh, fuck that. Private the video. Really? Really? After 10 years that I let you have that video on the internet, and I never stopped you from making more, and I let everyone else on the internet make them, the moment that I decide to highlight or do something positive with it, now you make it private. And what's hilarious is I posted up on Twitter, I said, I can't believe this. Evil AJ must be the pettiest person on the internet.
If YouTube doesn't want you on their platform, they remove you from their fucking platform. It's that easy. You're a push of a button in this. If you're on the internet saying whatever you want and they don't like it, they push the button. Done. Send you away, send you back in, go somewhere else. And it's that easy. And Phil doesn't understand it. It's happened to how many people? This strike system's there, but you can exploit it and still get through. You know, people get unbanned and strikes removed in an instant. You know, and Phil doesn't seem to understand this at all. He's falling apart right in front of your eyes right now.
What the fuck are you talking about? He literally waited for the moment I was going to do this marathon to private the video, and just that one specific video, so that I couldn't go ahead with my marathon as planned. That's the very definition of pettiness, okay? The very definition of pettiness. Let's actually see what Evil AJ had to say about the subject. Here's his Twitter account, and just moments after me posting up about that on my Twitter, he basically directly responds in such a manner. Nah, bitch, you're an irredeemable piece of shit. I have a few reasons for doing this. Long story short, go fuck yourself. Fuck you and your mother. Then he posts again. He says, and for the record, he still hasn't asked me for permission to react to the video. Okay. Great. We got to unpack a few things here before we can actually move on. All right? Really. Fuck you and your mother.
Two things, DSP. Two things. Two things. Number one, it's his content. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. If he wants to private it so you don't make money off of it, that's his decision. He can do that. Okay? Number two, this is your fault because, again, this is a 10-year-old video. You have been advertising this for months. The first time I can see you advertising this shit is in April. So you've been advertising this for several months. And you decide to wait. You decide to wait until a couple of days before you have to watch this shit to try to download it. That's your fault, bro. Your fucking fault. You did that.
That's the very definition of pettiness. Okay. So, he basically says he has a few reasons for doing it. Doesn't say what they are, okay? And says that, oh, you know, you're a bitch, you're an irredeemable piece of shit, and therefore I'm not going to allow you to watch my video. Okay. I think you've already confirmed what I just said about being petty, right? Like, literally, everyone else on the planet can watch and react to the video until the person who's the subject matter, and then you say, oh, no, you can't do that, right? It's bullshit. It's completely, it's called changing the situation because you don't like me and you have a grudge against me. This has nothing to do with anything that you'd like to spin it as. You still have a grudge against me in 2022, over 10 years after you were banned from commenting on my videos. You've stalked me at every moment. You've tried to interject yourself into my fighting game content. You tried to make This Is How You Do Play series that failed miserably because no one cares about you playing games. You won't let it go. You have an obsession with me that's dangerous, verging on the edge of needing help. You need to move the fuck on from this kind of behavior. It's not healthy. And anyone in your life who cares about you and knew about this at this point should have had an interjection, an intervention, saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you hate watching Phil and commenting? Your entire Twitter feed is tweets about Phil. How did no one tell you that's fucked up and messed up and you shouldn't do it? I don't understand. Really, this is just crazy, over the top nonsense and behavior. It's nonsense. It's like, oh my God, seriously, this is the person? Yeah, it's just me. It's me. We're talking about DSPs. Okay, DSP. Oh, a random comment that has nothing to do with DSP. 12 more comments about DSP. Who the fuck talks about this guy or cares about or is reading his Twitter feed? You know, it's nuts. But anyway, I digress. If this doesn't confirm exactly what I'm saying, then I don't know what else will. His own admittance that he's being petty, he still has a grudge against me. He literally waited for the moment where everyone else on the internet could do a react, but if Phil wants to do a react to prove that he's changed or do some kind of fun content, that's not allowed, right? So it's called being unfair, moving the goalposts, whatever you want to say. It's just, it's bullshit. It's the definition of pettiness.
This is coming from a man. I'm sorry, a boy. I'm sorry, a bitch that goes ahead and has a forum website up where he logs your IP address so he can dox you in case you say something stupid. This is coming from a boy who wants you to log on to PayPal and tip him with an account that has personal verified information on it so he can dox you in the event if you try to charge back. This is coming from a boy who privates his videos so he can have his own little index of who he can copyright strike. And he's out here calling people fucking petty.
From what I'm to understand, I don't have any evidence of this. I've been told he's striking people down with copyright claims. It could be wrong, and I'm going to preface this. Maybe it's bullshit. Maybe it's not true. So,
wait, hold up. I'm not even fucking done. How do you act like a woman that's just been dumped over dudes you never even met in person? Yes, 10 years ago, this is when you were prominent. This is when you were popular. This is where you were worth talking about. We get it. Move the fuck on. Get away from Evil AJ's content. Make new content so that you can go ahead and say, this is what I do now. You're bringing back the past in order to make money because that was the only time you were able to make money. That's sad. That's pathetic. Let's continue.
The original This Is How You Don't Play, Metal Gear Solid 2, is about arguably 95% my content, maybe 5% him superimposing the comments from my content over the video. There's no original commentary. There's no superimposed like memes or criticisms. It literally is a really hard argument for a transformative work because it's pretty much almost all of my content. You understand that? Almost all of it, right? And it's hilarious to me that this guy who got away with having this on the internet for 10 years, now is trying to say, well, I'm not going to allow you to make your own content out of my content when arguably his content is still mine. Hiding the video is petty as fuck, and trying to strike down other people putting out the video so I can react to it is also petty as fuck. He actually shouldn't have a legal right to do it, because if anyone else had a right to react to it and make their own content, I should too. It's bullshit that he thinks he could pull this, basically. When I read those tweets, allow me to share with you my actual live reaction to what I read or what I said, or let me try this again. Let me show you my actual live reaction, which I recorded when I read that tweet for the very first time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. It's DSP. It's the simple tactics of bitch, 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 and then act when you win.
Wait, you're serious?
And he just killed the joke, just like, and it's not. He just killed the joke. He just killed the fucking joke.
I never asked Evil AJ for permission to react to his video. First of all, I don't have to. In the case of Evil AJ, I don't even have to ask him for permission at all. Do you want to know why? Get ready for this one. Drum roll, please. I wish I had a drum roll, but my device broke. Ready? Because he already gave me fucking permission. Right here on his Twitter account in April 23rd of 2022, Orcs or Dorks asked him, hey, you know, if Phil were ever to watch This Is How You Don't Play a Metal Gear Solid, would you be okay with him doing that? To which he responds, oh, you know, flagging that for doing something that would be considered fair use, you know, that's moronic, and I'm not a litigious kind of a guy, so you know what, he's free to do whatever he wants with those videos.
Evil AJ gave you permission, quote unquote, and you didn't accept it because you needed him to contact you. So this admission right here, if it did happen, you didn't believe it and you didn't accept it, and that's why you chose not to fucking react to this shit in the first place. Wow. So that was it. So after that, you went ahead and you continued to not ask Evil AJ for permission. Time went on. Evil AJ asked, why haven't you asked him for permission? This is May 1st. May motherfucking 1st. Because DSP wants his permission, but doesn't know how to contact him. So here, May 18th. Just for the record, he still have yet to ask me for permission to react on Metal Gear Solid 2. So you haven't asked him for any permission there. So again, this is in May. Afterwards. Then if we continue, at the end, May 21st, he says right here, I have developed second thoughts about giving him permission to react on This Is How You Don't Play Metal Gear Solid 2. So here's what happened. Okay? You told your audience that you could not react to something unless you had actual consent from the other party. Right? They told you, so far that they knew, that Evil AJ had given you permission. You rejected that claim. You rejected the fact that he said that. And then you said that Evil AJ had to contact you directly and give you permission for his own fucking content. He couldn't do that because you had him blocked. So there was no way to communicate whether or not it was okay to react to this video. Then when you took so long and you still haven't done it, he rescinded the permission. So that's on you. Now, as far as you going ahead and just reacting to the commentary, to the content without his permission, that is hypocritical on your part, because you created this environment where content had to be reviewed under the original content creator's permission. You did that, Phil. You the one, when every time you brought up down the rabbit hole for Wings, you brought up the fact that you explicitly spoke to Fred Nugson and he gave you the okay. You specifically spoke to Wings and he got the okay. You specifically spoke to Rob Gavigan and he gave you the okay. So whether or not you have to ask for permission, you don't have to ask for permission, that doesn't fucking matter, because you create the environment where content cannot be reviewed unless it is okay by the original creator. Now, you did it for Rob. You did it for you did it for Wings. You did it for fucking Frederick. Why didn't you do it for Evil AJ? Why didn't you go out your way to ask Evil AJ for permission?
This is the face of a man who is coping. He's coping for anything, his legacy, whatever you want to call it. It's all just a big fuck off cope right now. Hoping that you're entertained enough to pass him a few bucks. Or you're a dumb troll idiot who wants to pass him a few bucks to get your name laughed at. You know, it's this rent-free spot in Phil's head. You know, it's shared by Mission 1 Keemstar. It's shared by good old Twitch. It's shared by anybody who's ever wronged the man. You know, just even the dude who sent him a cardboard dick still has an apartment rent-free in Phil's head. He will never forget any of that shit.
Oh. I wonder what this is. What could this possibly be? I wonder. Well, I guess we'll just have to see tomorrow, right? We'll just have to see what this could possibly be. I don't know I don't know. We're going to have to react to something interesting. You know? I can't possibly imagine what this could be that we're going to react to tomorrow that someone doesn't have a legal ground to stand on to try to do anything about. All right? So, this guy has absolutely no right whatsoever to try to do anything against me or DSP Gaming if I do a react video. If he files a false copyright strike against DSP Gaming when I do this react content, I have the definitive evidence on the internet. Even if he deletes the tweet, the Wayback Machine remembers. It's there and you can find it. There's the evidence he gave me the permission to do it. He has absolutely no right to false claim. And here's the kicker to all of this. Get ready for this one, guys. You're really going to enjoy this part. Because he already admitted publicly that I have the right to do it. If he files a false copyright claim against DSP Gaming, he's abusing YouTube's copyright claim system. He's already shown he had prerequisite knowledge that I had permission to use the content. So if he files a claim, he breaks the law. And his YouTube channel will be shut down for abuse of the YouTube copyright system. All right, one more time for good measure. Got him.
Now, here's the other problem here.
I can only react to things that I have permission to react to. If you don't obtain outright permission from a content creator who puts something on YouTube, for example, if you don't get permission to react to their content, you are violating copyright law. There is part of fair use law in the United States that says, under the guise of commentary and criticism, i.e. reacting and saying stuff about something you're watching, all right, you can put out content while watching someone else's content. That's correct. Fair use law only protects you a certain amount. So essentially, it's never really been fleshed out in court exactly the amount you're allowed to use in something like this, there have been court cases where someone reacted to someone else's content on YouTube and a judge ruled that's a transformative work. Right now, there is no clear-cut guidelines on what's allowed and what's not. And when you don't have clear-cut guidelines and it's a gray area, you put yourself at risk. It's not YouTube's job to determine what's legal and what's not. They just grant everything and then you hash it out in court yourself if you want. So that's the problem. If I'm not getting outright permission first, all right, then sadly, I don't have a right to do a react. It's that simple.
If DSP really wants to fucking look at Evil AJ shit, at the core of things, he really can. But he's created this environment all on his own that permission has to be asked. And the reason why he created this environment, so that way he wouldn't have to watch detractor content. He brought up that excuse so that way he wouldn't have to reach out to detractors, because he wasn't going to reach out to the detractor for permission. That doesn't make any sense. So he made up this lie about having to reach out to people. He created this personal moral code that you have to ask for people for permission before you do anything. So now that is on you. Like, if that's the case, like, you need to ask for permission, why didn't you unblock Evil AJ? So that way you can ask him for permission, so you could be in the clear to in the clear to react to this content. You brought that upon yourself, Phil. And now you're going to go ahead and say, oh, I don't have to, and be a hypocrite of everything that you did. Now, if Evil AJ, I'm not saying Evil AJ should go do this, but if he did copyright strike your channel, he would be within his right to. Because again, you, sir, didn't go out, you didn't ask him for permission, and you are the person that advertises that he likes to ask for permission when reviewing content. You did that. And that's the thing now. And now that you said that shit now you have no fucking legal leg to stand on when any of us makes any type of content with your fucking videos. So that's the juicy part of it. Evil AJ is just the tip of the iceberg. Now you just gave every single troll in the detractor free reign over your entire fucking channel. Dummy. Now every single detractor has an excuse to fuck with your shit. And if they decide to get a lawyer, they'll pull up this motherfucking clip to say that that they didn't have to ask you for permission. They don't have to do shit with you when it comes to watching your content, because guess what? It's fair use. You fucked up, Phil. Thank you. Thank you, you fucking dumbass. Thank you.
Oops. Oh my god, it would be funny if it weren't so fucking sad.
It's a shit show.
Right.
Either you're here to hope that something weird happens and get a good chuckle, or you're gonna laugh at one of his dumb pay piggies or some weird internet fucking drama that pops up in this community of detractors. And that's your entertainment.
Pretty much.
Like, come support me. You know, the first thing out of his mouth is support. You go down on his channel. There's not even a description of the gameplay, hardly. It's just, give me money.
Right.
And if we even go peek at it, like, you just scroll down a little way. So you get your game and stuff, and you just hit. Look at this. Not even a description of what you're doing. It just says, join the channel to get access to the perks, and please consider leaving a tip. That's it. Thank you in advance. That's the tagline. Thank you in advance. Because it's always in advance for him.
It always in advance.
He always needs an advance. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that household. Because it's got to be the most silent nights, the most quiet, pedantic, boring affairs. Like, you're ordering DoorDash and sitting there and maybe watching some other fucking YouTuber play a video game. And I get it. That could be entertaining.
Right.
But you're not having a discussion with your wife about her day. Because what? All she did was shine up some potatoes in the fucking produce aisle. You know, for 4 hours. And then showed up and played Skyrim for the rest of the day while you yelled at people for money. It's impressive.
I think, well, from what little I saw of his 40th birthday celebration and where he's at in life and all the coping that came with that bullshit, he came across as a man who has a deep amount of regret, but he has conditioned himself in such a way to be like, it's not my fault. I did the best I could. It's because everybody hates me, but I can't justify why they hate me. Is the only thing that puts one hoof in front of the other. But he has to live with that every fucking night. That's the reason why he has to get himself drunk. It's the only way he can face it. It's the only way he can probably sleep.
You're right. At this point, it has to be that. It's his coping mechanism. Again, is this guy who says he's always been the underdog, the depressed person. You know, that was my depression. You know, that they're all making fun. It's all this victim bullshit that he peddles. And he's been sipping his own Kool-Aid and smelling his own farts for so long. That's all he can do. That's all he can do. And it's so embedded into how he acts and the persona he is online. Because I'm sure if you met Phil in real life and you said, oh, hey, Phil, how are you doing? He would turn and run and get out of Dodge. He's a very uncomfortable hermit.
Yes.
He has to have things his own way, and you know, if the slightest fucking thing is out of order, he's tilted. He's mad when he doesn't, you know, like his wife's birthday didn't go well for the breakfast. You know, go into, you know, Sherry's pies. It's this sad existence, and he wants to tell us that we have this sad existence, that his detractors are just basement dwelling trolls. I mean, you were on hiatus for about 2 years. It isn't like, you know, people in chat haven't missed you. You know, it's not like I haven't missed you, but I come from a place of understanding when it's a time to fucking put this shit show down and do your own thing. I trust that you're smart enough to do it to your best ability. As long as you know, just check in every now and then on those who you care about, things will probably go well for you. And Phil lost those opportunities. He could have still been friends with John Rambo. He could have still had a contact on the East Coast. You know, things like that could have happened, but he's too ego-driven to realize the errors of his own ways.